want you two incompetents down to the Nectarola building now! There's been a murder, and the chairman, Madam Quinby, requested you special, Rochi. Just like old times, eh? Now don't screw this up!
So, you and Quinby have a history I should know about, Rochi? I didn't picture you in with such a high-class crowd.
Oh, yeah. People always told me I smell royally. Well, maybe it's because about 30 years back, I was the primary on the old royal egg case. Some egg-napping insects ran off with Quinby's rightful heir. We never found out who did it. I tell you, kid, something was rotten about that case, and I don't mean the egg, but I could never prove it. Either way, Madam Quinby was left without a successor. She's been in power way longer than normal because of it.
She's so sweet in all the commercials. What's she like in real life?
Tough. So we gotta be tougher, kid. She can be very charming and persuasive, so you gotta hold your ground. Just follow my lead. Okay, now leave this to me, kid. All right, can we get everyone to move over to this side of the room?
Ah, Detective Carruthers, the years have treated you well. Could we perhaps have everyone over here instead? We were in the middle of a rather important rehearsal when the tragedy occurred.
Sure, Madam Quinby. That would be fine, just fine. Ain't she just the bee's knees, kid?
Oh, please call me honey. And who is your charming friend?
Who? Oh, this is my partner, Detective Chris List.
Nice to...
So, what seems to be the problem, your honeyness?
It was just awful. We were rehearsing for the big launch of my new Nectarola flavor, Manchurian Cherry. I was on break, and my loyal advisor, Busby, was standing in for me. I hate those hot lights. We were just about to resume when a cable snapped, and he was crushed like a... well, you know. I saw a shadowy figure run from the rafters. My word... you know, I think the killer was after me. But it all happened so fast. I still can't believe it. Oh, Busby.
Well, this was clearly a tragedy for you and the Nectarola Company. I can see you truly cared for your assistant, as you do all living creatures, and the fair city of Troy.
Madam Quinby, would you mind if I asked you a few questions?
Well, of course, my dear. Of course.
Rochi, you just gonna stand there and gawk at Quinby?
I'm not gawking, all right? Just, you know, something about her that's mesmerizing. I'm sizing her up. So far, I'd say she looks like a size 12 in the young miss department. But hey, I've never been that good at this. She is a knockout, though, ain't she? Sorry, Big Mite. What? No, nobody else got knocked out.
Big help. I thought you said Quinby was over the hill 30 years back. How old is she?
We never did find out her age, but her ma got pretty scary looking in her later years, so Honey can't be that old. I remember when I was a kid, Quinby staged a hostile takeover of Nectarola from her own mother. Can't have a company spokesperson that looks like death, I guess.
Sounds like Nectarola chairmen don't usually stay in power long.
I think this is a first. No other Quinby has controlled the pollen trade for such a long time. Yeah, it was a real tragedy when a royal egg was taken. A royal usually comes only once in a generation. That's why Quinby's bravely hanging on here. No heir. Honestly, I have no idea, at her age, how she keeps popping out new drone workers for the buzz biz. But you know, she looks pretty good for a woman with that many kids.
How do you want to proceed on this?
Well, I'm on the comm link with Big Mite, you know? Getting the rundown from the officers first on the scene. It could take a while. Gotta have it all in the report. Look, you know the drill. Chigga's gonna expect us to find at least 4 pieces of evidence before we leave the scene. You haven't found any yet, so keep snooping. I'll make sure nothing happens to Quinby in the meantime.
Looks like Quinby's got a helipad.
Yeah, this is quite a pad, ain't it?
No, I meant a place for her helicopter, down on the roof. Hard to see what a dirty town it is when you look down your nose at it from up here. Better double-check the tape in this, but Big Mite said the cameras weren't rolling since it was rehearsal. Did Busby have any enemies?
Well, I can't believe he did. He was honest, brave, thoughtful, kindly. Have I left anything out? I don't know why anyone would want to hurt him.
Did anyone know he was going to be standing in for you?
No, at least not at that particular moment. I have taken quite a few breaks. Rehearsing for public appearances is always so exhausting. But it was pure happenstance that Busby was standing in for me at that particular moment. Oh, cruel fate. Well, cruel to Busby. Lucky for me.
Do you have any enemies?
What a ridiculous thought. Can you imagine? It couldn't be one of Nectarola's competitors, since there are no competitors. I crushed all of the other soft drink companies ages ago. And it certainly couldn't be a disgruntled ex-employee. All of my ex-employees are thoroughly gruntled before they leave the premises. I insist on it. So I can't imagine who would want to harm me.
What about family members?
I don't know your family. Oh, you mean my family? I have none to speak of.
What about current employees? Anyone who might benefit from a vacancy at the top?
Absolutely not. I never promote from within the company. It might encourage exactly the kind of conniving and murder you're suggesting.
So you're sure there's nobody from your past that might be holding a grudge?
Well, naturally there are various suitors that I've rejected over the years, but it's been a long time since all that, and I can't think of any who would be moved now to do me harm.
There's gotta be a motive here. Nobody tries to commit murder without a motive. Is there anyone who might want to stop the introduction of your new flavor?
I suppose the people from the National Candidates Association were a little disappointed. We did choose to go with Manchurian Cherry instead of Manchurian Candidates, but I don't see how killing me would help their cause.
Manchurian Cherry, huh?
Yes, our new slogan is, "It's an explosion of cherry flavor." I do hope you'll try some, Detective. I'm sure you'll love it.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. If you think of anything, please give Rochi or me a call at the precinct.
I certainly will. I'd like this mess cleared up as soon as possible. And speaking of which, who's responsible for carting this body away?
The coroner will be by shortly, I'm sure.
Oh, thank goodness. He's right in my spotlight.
You say you saw a shadowy figure on the catwalks?
I did. I looked up a few moments after the bee-bot fell on dear loyal Busby. There was somebody running on the catwalks, but between the lights and tending to Busby, I never saw who it was.
I'll be back to ask more questions later.
Very well, but let's make this quick. We have a product introduction to rehearse.
Might find some good prints on these cushions, or at least some spare change underneath. It's a cardboard cutout of a bee-bot, Honey Quinby's lovable sidekick, and the Nectarola mascot. It's part of the snappy new Nectarola ad campaign. Considering they have a monopoly on all beverage sales in Troy, I'd say this is more of a vanity campaign than anything else. Snacks are great and everything, but I always find myself wishing the craft services table had some good macrame and beadwork items. Donuts. Was someone expecting the police? What did you see?
It's an explosion of cherry flavor.
There was an explosion? Where?
In every can of new Nectarola Manchurian Cherry.
I see.
It's an explosion of cherry flavor.
Yes, so I've heard. I guess your programming is rather limited. Can you move aside so I can get by?
It's an explosion of cherry flavor.
How'd I know you'd say that? Who controls you?
It's an explosion.
Spare me. I should find a way to get up those stairs. The labels read friendly acquisitions, hostile takeovers, crazy PR stunts, additives, preservatives, and Nectarola recombinant DNA and genetics laboratory. I guess they're diversifying. Nectarola. Thanks to our new proprietary additives and the repositioning of our products as carbonated lifestyle enhancers, we've quadrupled market share, resulting in the most profitable year in the company's history. And we're more than confident that our newest flavor will be an unprecedented success. There's just no resisting Nectarola. Looks like she's working on another memo. This one to the Pollen Fields facility about the upcoming harvest. It has, "Don't forget to call me honey," engraved on it. Funny how much she has to remind people. It's full of graphs, algorithms, and black magic, outlining how to make the new soda flavor a huge success, yet somehow not cannibalize sales from the other product, even though original Nectarola has a 98% market share. I think they call it a marketing plan. The top item is a proposal for capturing the remaining 2% market share from their last remaining competitor. water. Quimby's executive chair is a little frightening. It looks like it was designed more for intimidating the minions than for ergonomics. What can you tell me about the accident?
It was hideous. Hideous! Busby was standing in for Quimby, just like she told you. She was on her executive's chair. Busby was reading from the script, and suddenly, the Bebop just fell.
Did you see the person on the catwalks that Quimby claimed to have seen?
I'm afraid not. I was slightly distracted by the dying assistant crushed underneath the Bebot.
Fair enough. I may need to ask you more questions.
I'll be here. The show must go on.
Can you command that Bebot who keeps saying, "It's an explosion of cherry flavor"?
Yes, that's one of the chorus line Bebots. I can give him orders, but that's up to Quimby, not me.
Certainly, Detective.
All right, then. I can have the Bebot move to the right, the left, do a shuffle off to Buffalo, or take a bow. What do you want to see?
Tell it to do a shuffle off to Buffalo.
I'd prefer not to use up that much battery power simply for your entertainment pleasure.
Tell it to move to the left.
Okay, Bebot, shimmy to stage left.
I need you to move that Bebot for me.
Fine, whatever. What do you want me to tell him to do?
Tell it to take a bow.
Very well. Bebot, take your curtain call.
Now's my chance. I wonder if these keys are the same from Bebot to Bebot. The officer outside said this was for a chorus line of Bebots that descend carrying Quimby. Maybe it's just as well the performance was cut short. That's part of the set, hung from the flies. This sandbag was used to help counterweight the Bebot. I should take a look at this. This rope was cut partway through, which means that somebody deliberately planned to have that Bebot fall. The big X on the floor is made of gaffer's tape.
That's where I was supposed to be standing for the big announcement. And poor Busby. If only I hadn't asked him to stand in for me.
Then you'd be lying here dead instead of him. How do you feel about that?
How am I supposed to feel? Well, horribly guilty, I suppose. And devastated. Simply devastated, of course.
You know, no matter how many bodies I've had to scrape off of windshields, no matter how many fatal fly swatter accidents I've had to investigate, no matter how many moths I've taken to the burn unit, I never get any queasier. This is a script for the big product introduction they were getting ready to put on. The victim never even had a chance to let go of it.
Oh, that was so like Busby. He held on to that script the same way he held on to life, with an iron grip, even after being crushed by a Bebot.
Well, I guess he didn't hold on to life after all. But he clearly kept holding on to the script. I don't see anything unusual about this script, but I can use this paperclip. At the precinct, Chigger charges us for each one we use. Look what I can do! In my enthusiasm, I've impetuously rendered this paperclip useless as a paper clamping device. The way the rope on that sandbag is cut proves that this Bebot's fall was no accident. I should find some way to open the hatch and back of this thing, but I'll probably end up thorax deep in busted bits of Bebot. Let's see if this works. Oh my gadfly! It's a histamine!
Is it safe?
It must be a dud. Otherwise, it would have gone off when the Bebot hit the ground. Even so, don't anyone touch it. When we're done here, I'll have the allergen squad come and take it away. This is an important piece of evidence. Think this is evidence?
Nah. Now leave me alone. I'm checking out Quinby. It's important for me to memorize every inch of her, just in case of something. Yeah, so you were saying, Big Mike?
Ouch! I'll thank you to keep your hands to yourself.
Sorry.
Stop it! I don't like being stung. It invades my personal space.
Sorry. They say 32-ounce Big Drip IV beverage dispensers. They've got industrial strength wrinkle concealer written on the side. They're marked extra set decorations. That's part of the set, hung from the flies. There's something glinting on it. One of the uniformed officers said this was for the big finish of the television event. Apparently, after the tap-dancing Bebots introduce Quinby, the boom lifts her up to fly above the stage, where she's joined by 2 more Bebots, assuming their ropes hold. Sounds very magical. This is the box's lock. This box is locked and bolted down. Very odd. I should find a way to open it. These are hinges. Maybe I can pick the lock with this paperclip. Eureka! I broke the paperclip off in the lock. Now there's no way to get that lock open. Maybe I can push out the hinge pins with the paperclip. Perfect. There's a knife in this box. Maybe whoever used it wanted to make sure he wasn't seen bringing it down to the main floor. Guess I don't have to worry about opening this lock anymore. I wonder why someone would go to so much trouble to hide a knife. This deserves further examination. nobody standing beneath this set piece, and I need to see what that shiny object is, so bombs away. Best reads in years. I laughed, I cried, I found no incriminating evidence. Reminds me, I should finish my screenplay. Do you need this script?
That was Busby's script. Take it away. I can't bear to look at it.
Seen this before?
Yes, that came crashing down at the same time that the horrible beaver fell and crushed poor Busby.
You don't know how that happened, do you?
Well, as I've said, I did see somebody up in the catwalks, but with the glare of the lights and all the terrible, horrible excitement, I didn't see who it was. I hate to think it was somebody out to injure me, but that's the only reasonable conclusion, isn't it?
Seems that way, yes. Whatever I saw in this set piece must have fallen somewhere on the stage when I cut it down. This wasn't here before. It must be the thing I saw on the top of the set piece. This is the tip of someone's wing. Not too many flyers around anymore. It ought to be easy to narrow down the suspects. This wouldn't happen to be one of your wingtips, would it, ma'am?
If only, Detective. I'm afraid I was never blessed with wings. Not one of the fortunate few, I suppose.
Yeah, you're a real hard luck story.
Luck is a relative thing, Detective, and I'll thank you to keep a civil proboscis in your mouth.
I wonder what captains of industry have met here, what history-changing decisions were made here, what life-altering beverage flavors were dreamed up here. Okay, I think I found all the evidence there is to be found.
All right, kid, let me see. Yeah, you got that knife. Those claw marks on it sure look like a stick bug's to me. You got that wingtip. That's some eagle eye you got on you, kid. Don't know if I'd have seen that. And you got that sandbag. Maybe forensics can match the knife to the cut in the rope. And you spotted that dud histamine. I only know one guy who deals with these models. Jimmy McGillicuddy. Goes by the nickname Sticks.
Don't know him.
You don't want to know him. And guess what? He's a stick bug. What are the odds, huh? Let's check him out.
Should we stop by the precinct with his evidence first?
Throw it in the trunk. Let's bug out.